Senator Tillis.
Ms. Miller, I suspect that there are at least some otherwise qualified recruits who may opt not to go into the military because of the COVID vaccine mandate. You all put that policy in place in August of 2021. That's before we knew a lot about, that's before we knew about Omicron. It's before we knew about the vaccine is only marginally effective at preventing the spread. I had COVID in 2020. I got vaccinated. I had COVID again. So in light of what we know today, is the department considering maybe revising or retracting that requirement, or at least using waivers if we have otherwise qualified recruits?
Senator, I appreciate that question. I can say as of right now, the department currently has no plans to eliminate the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. We strongly do believe that vaccine requirements significantly enhance the readiness of our force and diminish the threat of serious illness.
Do we have any data on people who are in the recruiting pipeline that have otherwise opted out because of the vaccine mandate?
Sir, we do have some survey data where we have asked, we do market survey data where we asked if the requirement to become vaccinated is a deterrent to considering joining the military services, and the vast number of respondents actually responded that no, it did not significantly influence them one way or the other. The other thing that we implemented was a attestation form during the early recruitment phase, where if they had not already been vaccinated, we asked them to indicate that they were willingness to be vaccinated for a wide range of conditions once arriving at basic training, as we have always done. We have not seen a significant number of potential applicants decline to endorse that form, nor have we seen a significant number of applicants who, once arriving to basic training, have then declined to actually become vaccinated.
Okay. Thank you. General Stitt, the Secretary of the Army has created a task force to make recommendations on Army recruiting practices. Tell me a little bit about the composition of the task force and when we could expect a work product.
Senator Tillis, the Army Recruiting Retention Task Force is headed up by two-star General, Major General Deb Katulich, and has subject matter expertise from across the department staff, United States Army Recruiting Command, Training and Doctrine Command, Medical Command. All of the subject matter experts are participating, and this group has been given the charter, quite simply to look at our recruiting and retention enterprise and tear it down to the studs and see what's out there. What policies, procedures do we need to look at to set the conditions in 23, 24, and beyond, Senator?
Thank you. And again, the time frame for coming up with recommendations?
Senator, they present recommendations bi-weekly to the Chief and the Secretary, and then the Chief and the Secretary make a decision and say, yes, go forward and action that item. And we're happy to share with the committee the results of what we see with the Recruiting and Retention Task Force.
Dr. Strobel, you mentioned something that I was talking with the subcommittee staff about having more information with the vast majority of your recruiting online and heavy dependence online. Getting access to that data. Some of the members of the committee may not be aware that you all are limited as compared to recruiting in the civilian sector in terms of cookies and tracking, and try to tailor the message to the specific profile of the person that's visiting one of your websites. Have the Marines or the department, Ms. Miller, this may be a question for you, made any specific recommendations to Congress? I know it's going to take congressional action if we're going to do it. There are some thorny issues we have to work out around data privacy, but I think we need to at least take a look at it. So either Dr. Strobel, Ms. Miller, or both, is the department in a position where they want to make a specific recommendation on a congressional action?
Yes, sir. I can start and then ask Dr. Strobel to follow up. Sir, you're exactly right. We would very much like to work with the committee to potentially expand our current authorities for marketing and advertising. As mentioned before, our current authorities are really almost 1990s authorities that really focus on directory information from telephone books, and we don't have the same level of ability to access content that, say, the commercial sector does. And we attempt to work with our advertising agencies to try to navigate and make sure that we get some of that information, but with your support, I think we can do a lot more. And certainly recognize your point about protecting privacy interests. We want to safeguard that as well. But what we really want to be able to do here is to be able to provide more personalized and tailored content. As I mentioned before, we are trying to recruit from the youth of America that has a vast range of interests. And what we are really right now is a blunt force instrument. And we want to be more strategic. We want to be able to kind of package our messaging so that it can resonate with greatest effect to a generation where we count seconds in terms of being able to capture their attention. And so we want to work with the committee to potentially expand our current authorities to do that.
Anything to add, Dr. Strobel?
Thank you, Senator. I would just add, I really appreciate your interest in this and would like to work with this committee and your staff to think about and study how we can better gain access to information that will help us recruit. Our ultimate goal, or maybe our second goal after maintaining and sustaining readiness and lethality, is to optimize our recruiting budget. So that we, you know, when I enlisted, there were 3 TV channels, and I got Sports Illustrated, I think, and that was how I saw my advertising. Now it's so fragmented, it's become so much more difficult to target advertising, and if we can figure out how to leverage some of the technologies that are out there while protecting privacy, I think we can get more bang for our advertising dollar.
I think if we do it right, we can address the privacy concerns. You not only are going to be in a position to where you can react to people who visit a potential recruiting website, but you can be more proactive and identify people based on other data, just like platforms that are marketing to the population do every single second of the day. I've got some other questions. Admiral and General Miller and General Stitt, I'll be submitting for the record. Thank you for your time.